I've always done everything for the love of music. Always. I was 8 years old. My father was bringing the music home. I got inspired by the music he was playing.
Carl played music non-stop. We constantly told him, turn it down, turn it down.
I used to take my sound system to school, and an hour break that we had, I would play music to the canteen. I kind of grew up all the way through the 70s, 80s, playing hip-hop, R&B, funk, and soul music. Most of the parties that I did, we never got paid for. My dad thought I would amount to nothing.
DJing was not something that my dad thought was a job. He didn't encourage Carl.
He was always just looking at me going, just get a proper job, because whatever you're doing now is never going to amount to anything. I started to understand music at a very early age. I just studied it as much as I possibly could. Where does it all stem from? How did we get here?
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
There was this explosion of openness. A lot of the problems of the past just started to fade away. The wall had come down, and the world was becoming a more prosperous place. And I feel like the Love Parade was very much a reflection of that, like this new youth culture that wasn't burdened by the prejudices of the past.
It started off very innocent. Maybe 250 people. A couple of trucks going through the streets of Berlin, and they would just stop the trucks and just party. East and West come together and brought people who are into dance music to basically celebrate life.
It was the same spirit that went into the illegal raves in the UK. It was pretty crazy for the way it grew through the first 5 years of the 90s was insane. The scale of it was just unreal.
I can't believe it, it's amazing. I've never seen this many people in one place before.
I'm from Holland and I really like it here.
Why did you start the Love Parade?
Because I had a dream of people dancing in the street, nothing else.
I was invited to come and be a part of the proceedings. And my first time of going there completely blew my mind. Going through the streets of Berlin, I just cannot believe there's over 1.5 million people. Breaking down the walls, breaking down everything culturally, and there's no way we could have done this anywhere else in the world. We've got this big, massive monument in the middle. And in the monument is where they built the DJ stage, and you go up in the monument and you see over the whole of the park. And all you can see is just heads. When I started, I was going up and down the country in the UK, playing 4 or 5 gigs every weekend. It's only till around about 27, 28 that people started hearing the name Carl Cox.
Carl Cox is such a special DJ because he's the king.
People that have been in the game that long, they still might love it, but they're not exuding the energy that Carl exudes when he's behind the decks.
The longest set I've ever played is up to about 10 hours. Most people are only going to work for 8 hours a day. In the 8 hours, they have, a breakfast, they have a tea break, they have a lunch break, they have another tea break, and they go home for tea. We're still playing.
He's probably the hardest working man in this whole business. I mean, he's nonstop. He's amazing.
I never really give myself a break. So to play for 10 hours, not even time to go for a pee, it's like a 10-hour step program, yeah, to try and get rid of all the carbs, that you put on over the Christmas period, After 10 hours, I'm done. My brain's fried, my legs are killing me, back's killing me, my ears are killing me. If I go past the 10 hours and then I don't know what I'm playing.
Carl Cox is what DJ is all about. He walks into the room and he knows how to read them like they're a book. And he understands what needs to happen. And that's a DJ.
Stand back, watch the bomb drop. All the competition that try to compete.
In the early days, the DJ was someone that could juggle 2 or 3 or 4 turntables. You had to really be talented to be a DJ that could play continuous music. The craft was always about mixing music from a perspective, always about digging into the crate, always about playing new music to people so they can actually expect the unexpected.
You can give another DJ the same records and have us play in front of a crowd. Those records will sound different when we each play them. It's getting creative with what you have. I think that's something that can't be taught. It's something that comes from here.
With computers now, you have a lot of people who don't know how to mix, don't know how to DJ.
They've never done it. It's because technology, they came in when this technology was available, and that's all they used, and they go, you know what, I can do this live.
There are a lot of DJs who've got pre-programmed sets, and unfortunately, I just press and play.
You are also DJing, but just in a different way.
If you play a USB and you don't use vinyls anymore, does that make you not a real DJ? That's exactly the same thing. You use the technology that is available to you today.
I don't get it. It's a laptop and a dude, and that's it.
People want DJs to play the records they love. Buy the top 20 records, put them on a USB stick, put your hands in the air, you know, big smile on your face, and away you go.
If you've got your hands in the air for 3/4 of your show, how are you mixing records? If you're throwing pies at people, how are you mixing records?
It's kind of dumbing down of what made the craft the craft.
Watching some of the guys that do the main stages at festivals play their hour-long pre-recorded set with their arms in the air, it's very hard to equate that to what, say, Carl Cox does in our set at Space.
I do this because I love the music, I have a passion for it. Since I was 8 years old, I have not looked back. When the time comes where you have to close the door and put it all behind you, is the time that you know that you've done something of self-worth in your life. I believe in what I'm doing. And if you do that, you're going to find other people that also feel the same. This movement is still pushing forward. My career has spanned over 38 years, doing what I love to do. To be honest with you, my father not really getting behind me was quite damning in some ways, and he didn't respect the fact that I had this drive and energy to be able to become the person I am today. When I said to him that I didn't really want to do anything else apart from DJing, he just basically laughed. He didn't give me the respect to find my own path.
I think it made Carl stronger, that he wanted, when my dad said no, I think it was a yes to Carl, that I'm going to follow my dreams. I'm so proud to say that he is my big brother.
Or did your dad ever come around to be proud the way you are?
Right now, I really wish that he could say those words. At the moment, my dad is not very well. He has dementia. It would have been nice for him to say those words. I don't think Carl will ever hear them from his father now because he doesn't remember.
Hey, there he is. How you doing?
Hey.
So you played already, right?
I just came on stage and we rushed
just
here.
came
We
off,
just
really?
rushed here. To
Oh,
the,
thank you.
No worries, it's all good. I respect Carl as a producer and a DJ. His DJ sets are, I can't play 8 hours in a row and not lose the attention from the crowd.
The longest set I've done is 10 hours.
How do you do it? Like, you didn't play one track 2 times?
No.
That's not.
Yeah.
Did you do it solo or did you do it back-to-back with others?
No. Just me on my own. Yeah. Went to the toilet once. Two slices of pizza and I think 4 beers, and that was me.
But that's something I respect. Yeah. I can't think about 12 hours. That's nuts. He can do so many things which I am dreaming of and which I'm still trying to do.
I mean, I was actually quite shy as a young DJ. When I was up on the stage, I had the curtains closed and I was still playing my music. And I was keep them closed as long as I could. And then when I go to the DJ, I'd be like...
Well, that's cool, though.
I'd be playing, you know, and then say something on the mic, I'd be like, no. You say something, you know. But that's how it was for me. I kind of grew into all of this, you know. Yeah. Martin's got to believe that he can do this because the whole scene rests on his shoulders now. He's young, he's hungry, and he's out to basically set the bar on what happens next. Big deep breath. Final night. In all these defining moments, Tiesto has played to billions of people. Paul Oakenfold at Wembley with U2. No one's actually been in a club for 15 years straight. I've played gigs all over the world, festivals, clubs, house parties. Everything that I've done feels like it's gone so quickly.
Oh yes, oh yes. We have got 10 hours to go.
I never really thought in any way, shape or form that I would have this longevity in my career.
Thank you all so much. Breaks my fucking heart.
I came with Carl the very, very first trip to Ibiza. I loved it. It was the start of my journey coming to space. You know, I love my brother to bits. I am his #1 fan, and I am so proud. My journey with Carl is coming to an end.
The last half an hour, down to the last record, I've never seen so much emotion in the club. I've been so blessed to be able to do what I do at the level that I do it. And when you look back, the amount of music we've played, people you've met, touched a lot of hearts and souls all over the world, and people remember those times and those moments. In the end of the day, it's all about music. And if I've touched you with my music, then all I can say is thank you.